Good morning, everyone. At this time, I'd like to call the Board of Education meeting to order. And as you can see, we do have a quorum present today. Can I have a motion and a second to approve today's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. McComas
Second.
and a second by Ms. Cutlip. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. And now can I have a motion to enter into closed session under general provisions of Article 3-305B of the Annotated Code of Maryland for the following reasons: to discuss personnel matters, Section 3-305B, 1, and to discuss legal matters, Section 3-305B7. So I need a motion and a second to enter into a closed session.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Smack.
Second.
And a second by Mr. Gordy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We are now in closed session. Okay, good afternoon. At this time, I'd like to reconvene the Board of Education meeting. I do want to make sure that everyone knows that we had a closed session meeting was held pursuant to general provisions of Articles 3-305B of the Annotated Code of Maryland to discuss personnel matters and consult with legal counsel. Today, we have Pastor Peggy Briggs from St. Paul's United Methodist Church in Berlin. Thank you for being here. She will lead us in the invocation today, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let us pray. Gracious and eternal God, we thank you for bringing us to this holy and sacred place and time, and ask that your wisdom will endow us and inspire us, God, for the task that we have to make conscious decisions about the education of our children and our community. Asking, Lord God, in everything that we say and do, that we will respect one another in our decisions. And Lord God, I just ask, as times change, that we be able to move with the change in time, but yet provide the best way for our children to learn and have an inclusive engagement in our system here in Worcester County. And we thank each and every one that is a part of this board. Be with them today, and we thank you. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Briggs, thank you very much for that lovely invocation today. We appreciate you being here. And now it's time for our monthly meeting reports, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. our Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrante. I just want to welcome our new student board reps. We're happy to have you, and excited for the perspective that you'll bring to our board and the experiences that we hope you'll gain this year. So welcome, and congratulations on being seniors, because you are now like the head of the school, so good for you. Before we begin, I want to congratulate those recently elected to serve on the Worcester County Board of Commissioners. I look forward to working collaboratively with the new slate of commissioners as we continue our shared responsibility of serving our students, families, and taxpayers, and I am optimistic about what we can accomplish together. And Mr. Ferrante and I have already had several phone conversations and have some meetings set up with them, so we're excited about that moving forward with everyone. There is an unmistakable sense of anticipation across our school system. While summer may offer a change of pace for many, it is anything but quiet across our school system. In fact, it is our busiest time of year here at the central office and in our schools. Everywhere I go, I am reminded of the work of preparing for a successful school year, and that preparation never stops. Over the past several weeks, our executive team has had the privilege of visiting summer academy programs across the county. Walking into our schools and seeing students actively engaged in learning, exploring, and building relationships has been an exciting reminder that great teaching knows no season. And I want to thank Ms. Tamara Mills for her leadership of that program. One program that has been especially inspiring to me is our new partnership with Symphony 21 Crescendo Camp. Through the incredible generosity of the Worcester County Education Foundation and Chamber Music by the Sea, students in the Crescendo Camp are not only learning to play an acoustic violin, but we're also exploring the fascinating worlds of sound and light engineering. It is exactly the kind of innovative, hands-on learning experience that expands horizons and opens doors for students. We're deeply grateful to our community partners for making opportunities like this happen. And Dr. Andes, I want to extend a special thank you to you with your leadership of chamber music and making that happen as well. While students have been learning inside of our buildings, another dedicated team has been working hard behind the scenes. I want to sincerely thank all of our maintenance and custodial staff who have the enormous task of preparing every school for opening another year while simultaneously hosting our summer academies and keeping those sites clean, safe, and welcoming each day. Their work often happens before the first student arrives and long after the last student leaves, but they are absolutely essential partners in the success of our school system. I also want to recognize our instructional coordinators for designing and facilitating an impressive lineup of professional learning opportunities this summer. Their commitment to supporting instructional excellence ensures our educators have meaningful opportunities to continue growing professionally. Equally deserving of thanks are the many teachers and instructional staff who have chosen to spend part of their summer in these sessions learning and improving their craft. Your willingness to invest in your own learning is ultimately an investment in every student that you serve, so thank you to those people as well. This time of year also represents one of the busiest seasons for departments whose work happens behind the scenes, but is critical to the success of opening our schools. I want to extend my sincere appreciation to our human resources team who are working tirelessly to help with the recruiting process, hiring, and onboarding, and they are outstanding support employees. And they make sure that every classroom and department is ready to welcome students on the first day. Their work is fast-paced, detailed, and essential to ensuring that we begin the school year with the talented staff that our kids deserve. I also want to recognize our information and instructional technology teams. Throughout the summer, they've been upgrading systems, preparing devices, implementing improvements, and ensuring our schools are ready to support learning and teaching from day one. Later in today's meeting, they will present a long-range technology plan to you, outlining a thoughtful vision that will help Worcester County Public Schools remain ahead of the curve while continuing to provide our students and staff with innovative tools needed for success. As we prepare to welcome our staff back in just a few short weeks, I find myself reflecting on our theme for the coming school year. Every story matters, and every child belongs. Those words remind us that our work is about far more than curriculum, technology, or facilities. It is about creating schools where every student is known by name, strength, and need, where every child feels seen, valued, and connected, and where every story has a place in our shared journey. I'm grateful for every employee, for every community partner, for every volunteer, and for every family who continues to believe in our students and in the work that we do together. The page has turned to a new school year, and I could not be more excited about the story that we are going to write together. Back to you, Mr. Ferrante.
Thank you, Dr. Wallace. I'd also like to welcome our student representatives for the 2026-2027 school year who decided to take a break from summer and join us here on the board. I think it's wonderful. And I want to announce them by name. We have from Pocomoke High School, we have Savannah Pittis, who's with us. And then from Snow Hill High School, we have Elena Alvarado. And from Stephen Decatur High School, we have Mara Mills. So thank all of you for being here. We look forward to seeing your smiling faces up here every month, and we look forward to hearing your reports from your schools. So I'd like to start off. I'm going to start off today with Savannah from Pocomoke High School. She's going to give us a report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrante.
Let's flip that up.
No, you're good. First time. It's okay. Listen, we're here every month and we mess it up too.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrante. I'm Savannah Pittis, the representative of Pocomoke High School. The 2025 to 2026 school year was one of tremendous accomplishment, growth, and school pride. While we certainly faced challenges throughout the year, those challenges became valuable learning opportunities that strengthened our students, staff, and school community. As we reflect on the year, we are proud to celebrate the many successes of our students and the continued excellence of Pocomoke High School. Our graduating class achieved outstanding results that reflect both their hard work and their dedication to our faculty and staff. Some highlights include a 100% graduation rate, over $6.2 million in merit-based scholarships earned, a 97% college and career readiness rate, 56 students completing programs through Worcester Technical High School, and 81% successfully completing one or more dual enrollment courses, earning college credit while still in high school. At the end of June, our Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA chapter, celebrated the culmination of another exceptional year. 4 students qualified for the national competition, making Pocomoke High School the only FBLA chapter on Maryland's Eastern Shore to qualify for the national platform. Congratulations to Giovanni Palomi, Fiona Gu, Audrey Pham, and myself, who along with their business teacher and FBLA advisor, Miss Wallace, we traveled to San Antonio, Texas to compete against the nation's best, while experiencing Texas history, culture, and traditions. including attending the San Antonio Rodeo and learning how to line dance. The experience provided meaningful opportunities for leadership, networking, and personal growth beyond the competition itself. Our Educators Rising program also enjoyed remarkable success, with June trip to nationals in Portland, Oregon. In addition to competing nationally, Kyrie Habel, Wilver Malvarez Francisco, Brene Baker Robinson, Caroline Webster, and Kata Mills explored the beauty of the Pacific Northwest with Miss Matthews and Miss Cashman, including an unforgettable kayaking excursion to one of the nation's largest waterfalls. These experiences continue to inspire students as they prepare for future careers in education. Our Summer Academy is off to an outstanding start, with more than 70 students participating in academic support, enrichment opportunities, and driver's education. This summer, students are also benefiting from partnerships with local community members who are providing engaging experiences in financial literacy, robotics, gardening, and other hands-on enrichment opportunities. These partnerships continue to strengthen the connection between our school and our community while providing students with meaningful learning experiences. As we prepare for another exciting school year, we are looking forward to several important events that bring our Warrior community together. On August 6th, our annual community barbecue at the Warrior Courts will occur. On August 12th at 9 a.m., Senior Warrior Day will begin, where we bring back all seniors for a wonderful new school year. The beginning of our fall sports season will commence on August 12th. On August 28th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., our new Warrior Day will occur, where freshmen are welcomed to their brand new school. And later that evening, from 4 to 6 p.m., Back to School Tribe Time will be followed by our fall sports parent meeting at 5 p.m. As always, these events provide opportunities to welcome new students, celebrate our returning Warriors, and build excitement for another successful school year. On behalf of the students of Pocomoke High School, thank you for your continued support of our school, staff, and our students. We are proud of what we accomplished this year and are excited about the opportunities that lie ahead. Now, on to Alana from Snow Hill High School.
Thank you, Savannah. Good afternoon. My name is Elena Alvarado, the student representative of Snow Hill High School. Learning is in full swing at Snow Hill High School Summer Academy as students explore the Eastern Shore through hands-on experiences that bring science, history, conservation, and technology to life. Through Outdoor Summer Science Academy, students are discovering the region's unique natural and cultural resources while making meaningful connections between classroom learning and the world around them. The Outdoor Summer Science Academy has offered students opportunities to learn beyond the classroom through a variety of on-field experiences. At Sturgis Parks, students focus on water safety, fishing techniques, species identification, fish anatomy, and invasive species awareness, with many also participating in kayaking through a partnership with Pocomoke Canoe Co. Students then traveled to the Baltimore Zoo, where they explored animal husbandry practices, conservation efforts, and the importance of protecting biodiversity. Additional experiences include a nature exploration at Pemberton Park, where students practice navigation skills, use trail maps, and documented observations while studying the biodiversity of wetland and forest habitats. At the Horn Point Oyster Hatchery, students learned about oyster life cycles, aquaculture, and the critical role oyster restoration plays in maintaining the health of the Chesapeake Bay ecosystem. Students also visited the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad National Historical Park, where they examined the history of slavery in our region and gained a deeper understanding of Harriet Tubman's legacy and the lasting impact of the Underground Railroad on American society. Most recently, students visited Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge and the NASA Wallops Visiting Center. These experiences allowed students to investigate local biodiversity while exploring how technology, data collection, and information systems are used to monitor environmental conditions and better understand the health of our planet. Throughout the program, students are developing scientific observation skills, environmental literacy, historical understanding, and appreciation for interconnectedness of natural systems and human communities. The Outdoor Summer Science Academy continues to provide engaging, real-world learning experiences that inspire curiosity, critical thinking, and stewardship of both local and global environments. In preparation for the upcoming school year, our counseling team, Ms. Johnson and Ms. Mora, have been working diligently throughout the summer to support student success. They are carefully reviewing student records, course selections, and graduation requirements to develop schedules that align with students' academic goals and individual needs. Their thoughtful planning helps ensure students are placed in courses that will challenge them and support them appropriately, providing every student with opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential in the 2026-2027 school year. As Summer Academy progresses, students are gaining valuable knowledge, practical skills, and meaningful experiences that will support them both in the classroom and beyond. And now I'm going to turn on to Maura from Stephen Decatur.
Thank you, Elena. Hi, everyone. My name is Mara Mills. I'm the board rep for Stephen Decatur. With summer here, there's salt in the air and sand in our hair, but there's still a lot going on at Stephen Decatur High School. First, looking back, we can't help but boast about the results of our advanced placement programs this past year. After administering 466 total exams in 23 different areas to 289 students, we can proudly say that our students had a 79% passing rate, which is 3% higher than last year, including 8 subjects who achieved a 90% passing rate or better. Additionally, 10 of our AP courses resulted in a passing rate percentage that exceeded both the national and global averages. We are certainly looking forward to recognizing all of our students who earned Advanced Placement Scholar and Big Future status from College Board. Congratulations are also in order to our dozens of Skills USA students who represented us well this summer during the national competitions and who brought home medals. Currently, our Summer Academy is bringing a lot of excitement to the school with featured programs including our Ready, Set, Charge program, Freshman Academy, School Links Orientation, and SAT preparation, along with other academic programs. All participants are gaining valuable reading, writing, communication, math, and world skills while simultaneously having fun. In mid-July, we look forward to hosting our Freshman Academy students who will not only get acclimated to the school, but also participate in proactive mental health and stress management activities. Overall, our engagement is great and our feedback is even better. Stephen Decatur High School is also busy engaging future Seahawks. Our sports programs are offering youth camps, and our theater department is sponsoring its annual summer camp, where teachers and our current Decatur thespians are busy teaching the basics of acting, improvising, and stunting to our younger friends. It's been fantastic welcoming rising Seahawks into our building and seeing their confidence grow. Meanwhile, on the track, courts, and fields, many of our athletes are busy weight training and doing agilities through the summer months in preparation for a promising fall season. As we prepare for the upcoming school year, we are excited to host our annual Freshman Seahawk Day, which includes an invitation to families on Thursday, August 27th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., elections for class officers and the Student Government Association during the first 2 weeks of school, and an early homecoming week from September 14th through the 19th. Last but not least, we would be remiss if we did not recognize our hardworking custodians for all that they are doing to prepare our building for a new school year, and a big shout out to our counselors for fine-tuning student schedules before the forthcoming year. And of course, thank you, Board of Education, for your continued support of our schools. Now back to you, Mr. Fronte.
Wow, it seems like you guys have been practicing because you certainly did a great job. And this is your first time. So I want to thank Mara, Elena, and Savannah. And we look forward to hearing more from your schools as we go forward. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Tolbert for the Blueprint Report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Ferrante. As part of our today's Blueprints for Millen's Future update, I would like to share a brief message from AIB Chair Isaiah Leggett regarding Worcester County Public Schools' recent designation as a district on the rise. Is the board okay if I read the letter?
Absolutely. 100%. We want you to.
This letter is from, as I said, the chair of the AIB, Isaiah Leggett. It's directed to Dr. Wallace. It was received yesterday. And it says, on behalf of the Accountability and Implementation Board, congratulations on earning the designation of a district on the rise from the Center for Education Policy and Research at Harvard University. Thanks to your efforts, Maryland ranks among the top performers in the nation for reading and math recovery between 2022 and 2025. We commend your district's notable student academic growth in reading and math. The report also notes good news related to chronic absenteeism, and we applaud your efforts to change the trajectory of the metric, which has a profound impact on student performance. Achieving these outcomes during historically challenging times is a testament to your commitment to students. We would like to work more closely with you to learn from your success, as well as amplify and share your strategies with your colleagues. Please contact Executive Director Rachel Heiss if this is of interest to you. Thank you for your dedication and sustained efforts. We look forward to continuing to work with you as we fulfill the promise of the blueprint for the benefit of all students and the state. And once again, it's signed by Isaiah Leggett, the director or chair of the AIB.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. great news.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if Dr. Wallace wants to comment on that, but I can only thank the entire, all of our executive team, as well as our coordinators, teachers, support staff, and everyone who works in the system who helped make this possible. This is an outstanding achievement, and I want to thank everyone who's a part of it.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, Mr. Tolbert. I was very excited to get that email. Sometimes when we get emails from our governing bodies, you're like, "Whoo, do I want to open it or not?" But this was a good one, and so there were several that came in last week that were interesting. But this was good news and a wonderful surprise for our district. Certainly a lot to celebrate. But one of the things that I feel like I look forward most in this opportunity to work with them is getting to work with some of the brilliant minds at AIB and hopefully bring back, not just share our ideas of successes in our district, but us be able to bring back ideas for our district that we're seeing in other places as we help move this work forward. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for us to be able to bring back some new ideas and perhaps refine some of the things we have in place.
Thank you. Okay, back to you, Mr. Tolbert.
Yes, I mean, the rest of the stuff is really downhill after that, but I'll go through it anyway. On other blueprint activities, at the most recent AIB public meeting, the AIB proposed various legislative and internal proposed changes. Many changes come to move the AIB in compliance with the 2026 General Assembly session. The proposed changes are open for public comment until July 19th. Some other blueprint activities, MSD continues to revise the proposed pre-K through 12 mathematics program. Worcester County Public Schools' current step, which Ms. Sarah Blackburn and her team are working on, is reviving our course acceleration progress for students performing above grade levels in grades 3 through 8. The Career Council Memorandum of Understanding continues to be developed among Worcester County Public Schools, the Lower Shore Workforce Alliance, and Warwick Community College. Representatives from each organization continue to meet regularly to advance this work, which is due to the AIB in September. That concludes my update, Mr. Fronte, unless there's questions from the board.
Thank you, Mr. Tolbert. Board members have any questions for Mr. Tolbert regarding the blueprint report? Dr. Andes?
Just a comment, I would ask that the letter that we received from Chairperson Leggett be distributed to our delegation, our senators and 2 delegates who represent Worcester County, and also to our county commissioners and other elected officials, so that they also see the commendation from the AIB. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Andes. Appreciate that. And now I'm going to move, thank you, Mr. Tolbert, as well. I'm going to move over to Dr. Record for the school safety report.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ferrante. As an information item, the July safety report highlights the busy summer planning and efforts of our school staff. Some of the areas to highlight are the professional development around the multi-tier systems of supports at every school and at every level. Our coaches, athletic staff, medical and school nurses, as well as our members of our safety teams, are being trained and recertified and certified in first aid, CPR, and AED. Our new teachers in just a few weeks will be trained in our safety protocols as well as specific strategies to foster that culture of care in their classrooms that is so very important to student success. And the Maryland Center for School Safety is once again hosting their annual safety conference later this month, and Worcester County Public Schools will be represented at that. And lastly, our annual Worcester County Public Schools Safety Conference is just a few weeks away. Planning is in its final stages with a full packed agenda and thoughtfully curated presentations coming together for what promises to be a meaningful day of safety, learning, and collaboration for our staff and community partners. I'd also like to give a special thank you to the Worcester County Sheriff's Office, who has been providing school resource deputies during our summer academies. This concludes the safety report for the month of July. Back to you, Mr. Ferrante.
Thank you, Dr. Record. Board members, any questions for Dr. Record regarding the safety report? Okay. Hold on.
Just
Dr.
a quick
Wells?
comment, because as Dr. Record shared, and I know that people listen in live stream, our safety conference is an invite-only safety conference, so it's not something, it's invite only. So our board is invited and our safety partners of all are invited, but it's not a community event. So I just didn't want someone to show up that day and be like, hey, I wanted to learn about school safety. That purpose is internal training for our staff and for our board to be able to see what's going on. So just so there wasn't any confusion. Not that we don't want people, it's just that's not the setting for it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. So now it's time to recognize members from the audience that are from the following groups. And I know the WCTA is not here today, or we don't have anyone here from the WCSPA, but we do have the Worcester County School retired personnel. And thank you, Helen. Thank you, Bev. Thank you for being here. Any Worcester County Bus Contractor Association? Don't see anyone. Any SIAC or PTA? I don't see anyone out there right now. But thank you for being here. We appreciate it. All individuals who've signed up, now we're going to move to public comment. All individuals who sign up to address the Worcester County Board of Education may do so for 1 or 2 minutes regarding information, commendations that may need future board attention. Concerns that are specific to an individual will not be discussed during open session and should be directed to appropriate district personnel for investigation. I don't think we have anyone on the list, but if there's anyone wishing to speak, let me know. Okay, we will move forward. Now, board members, if you've had an opportunity to review the consent agenda, does anyone wish to have any item pulled from the consent agenda for discussion? Okay. Seeing none, I need a motion to approve. I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items as presented. Motion by Mr. Smack.
Second.
A second by Dr. Andes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. And now we're going to move to the bus contractor. Actually, no, we're going to go. Yep, that was involved in the consent agenda. We'll go to administrative functions, and I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Record.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrante. The personnel exhibit for the month of July is as follows. Samantha Austin, Educational Assistant, Snow Hill High School. Bethany Bruning, Educational Assistant, Buckingham Elementary School. Ryan Callahan, Teacher, Computer Foundations of Computer Science, Pocomoke High School. Kinsley Camilo, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur Middle School. Elizabeth Coates, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur High School. Kylisha Connor, Educational Assistant, Snow Hill Middle School. Bethany Davis, Teacher, Pocomoke High School. Elena Gaden, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur High School. Courtney Glosser, Educational Assistant, Buckingham Elementary School. Michelle Hatcher, Literacy Coach, Pocomoke Middle School. Nathan Huber, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur High School. Dawn Langford, Teacher, Pocomoke High School. Lauren Lotsky, Educational Assistant, Ocean City Elementary School. Amy Labrizzi, Educational Assistant, Shao Elementary School. Reagan Minty, Teacher, Shao Elementary School. DeAndre Purnell, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur Middle School. Joseph Sabo III, Teacher, Worcester Technical High School. Takira Steele, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur Middle School. Matthew Sweeney, Educational Assistant, Cedar Chapel Special School. Sydney Taylor, Educational Assistant, Pocomoke Elementary School. Renita Walker, Educational Assistant, Cedar Chapel Special School. Caitlin Walter, Teacher, Ocean City Elementary School. Kimberly Wheeler, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur Middle School. Yolanda Williams, Behavior Technician, Pocomoke Elementary School. And for separations, we have the following. Kimberly Berry, Teacher, Shao Elementary School. Elizabeth Bodley, Speech Pathologist, Snow Hill Elementary School. Alexander Barhaska, Teacher, Pocomoke High School. Yakia Brittingham, Secretary, Stephen Decatur High School. Megan Figoletto, Curriculum Resource Teacher, Stephen Decatur Middle School. Della Fisher, Custodian, Shao Elementary School. Chelsea Lawson, Educational Assistant, Shao Elementary School. Valerie Montgomery, Teacher, Berlin Intermediate School. Avalez Ramirez, Educational Assistant, Stephen Decatur High School. Ramona Smith, literacy coach, central office. The following names have been recommended for promotion. Lauren Kite, teacher, Berlin Intermediate School. Kathleen McDaniel, curriculum resource teacher, Stephen Decatur Middle School. Michael Redden Jr., head custodian, Worcester Technical High School. And Pam Solzman, secretary, Stephen Decatur High School. The superintendent recommends approval as presented.
Okay, Dr. Record, just you got a little bit ahead of me for the personnel exhibit. I was going to ask you for the school advisory committees, but that's okay. We're gonna
I'm
go
so
ahead
sorry.
and we're gonna get you're kind of throwing me off. I don't know if you were playing a trick on me or not.
I'm sorry, Mr.
That's
Ferrante.
okay. It's all good. I am with you now.
right.
So can I have
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the personnel exhibit as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. McComas. Second by Mr. Gordy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay. And we have one, let the record show there's one abstention. That was Mrs. Cutlip. Okay, and Dr. Record, before I move forward, I'm going to take it back to you.
I'm sorry,
for
Mr. Ferrante.
That's okay. You're fine. For the SIAC committee,
Okay.
advisory committee.
All right. So you're going to turn it over to me, and I'm going to talk about SIAC.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Ferrante. As an information item, each year, each principal at every school submits a list of recommended parent, community, and staff members for the upcoming school year to serve as the School Improvement Advisory Committee, often called SIAC. The list presented in your board packet that was provided are names of each school's SIAC for your information. Following today's meeting, the schools will begin planning of those SIAC meetings.
Okay. That's just an informational piece. Thank you, Dr. Record, for letting us know about that. Appreciate that. And now we're gonna talk about the long-range technology plan, and I'm gonna let Dr. Wallace introduce our next presenters, Mr. Genovese and Mr. Shenton.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Mr. Ferrante. I want to thank my two gentlemen here, Mr. Genovese and Mr. Shenton, and also Dr. Mensa is here, but Nick and Chris are going to be our main presenters today. They've been working on this plan for an entire year, so I want to commend them for their leadership of taking this on. This is something the board, Mr. Ferrante, we had a lot of discussion with the board, had asked me to make sure that we got completed. And so these folks are here today, and they're going to present to you the findings and a long-range plan for technology for our school district. So thank you, gentlemen, and I'll turn it over to you.
Welcome.
Yeah, all right, good. Great. Thank you, Dr. Wallace. Thank you. Good afternoon, Board of Education. As Dr. Wallace said, Chris and I are here to go through the long-range technology plan for Worcester County Public Schools. It is our intention to, not only keep this informational, but also to make sure that it is as brief as possible. Not because the information is not important, but not only in the matter of time, but it's our understanding that you all have the literature with you as well, for you to review in detail what is outlined in each section, in each part of the long-range technology plan. So it is kind of our intention to just do an overview of this information, and then to provide the opportunity if there's any questions about the plan as we move forward. So again, as a very quick overview, there's a couple key pillars of the long-range technology plan as we move forward. Strategic integration. So as we all can kind of attest and see, that technology has become an integral part of how we do things, not just in education, but everyday life, but especially so in education. So we need to make sure that everything that we are doing, all of our educational and instructional practices, remain modern and up to date. So that is one focus. Financial sustainability is obviously another focus. So we want to make sure that we are financially prepared and ready with any impacts of technology security, and all the compliance issues that come along with those. Equitable access, and again, we've already talked a little bit about security, but that is also a key pillar to the long-range technology plan, because as important as technology is, even more so is making sure that everybody has access to that technology. Technology can be a great equalizer, but only when everyone has the equal opportunity to that technology. So it is very important that we make sure that everybody has that equal and equitable access. We also want to make sure that that long-range technology plan, as the name implies, that this is a multi-year roadmap. We kind of want to make sure that we are always looking to the future, not just addressing our needs as they are or as they arise, but planning for those future needs and future concerns. So again, what is the need behind having a long-range technology plan? Okay. Well, as we kind of said in the introduction, because technology plays such an integral role, we want to make sure that everything that we do, all of our technology, from instruction to operations to every aspect of the system, that it is not only responsive, updated, but it is also secure. That has become and is becoming an even more growing concern, in our current environment, to make sure that not only are the devices reliable, but we can trust what is happening and how individuals are interacting with those devices. We also need to make sure that all of the infrastructure that supports those devices and supports that instruction, that they are equally up to date and secure as well. You were good. You were reading my mind. So one of the areas we wanted to look at as we were crafting the details of the long-range technology plan is what would be the impact of not having a plan? What would be the impact of not looking ahead, not looking into the future? Okay? Outside of just using outdated technology, because that, again, we talked about technology being an equalizer, and how powerful technology can be. That puts up hurdles, slows down that impact when that technology is not reliable, when it's outdated and not reliable. But even more so than that, that is where we can come into some of those cybersecurity concerns. If technology is outdated, if software operating systems are outdated, that is one of the highest points of impact and vulnerability when it comes to cybersecurity. So we want to make sure that we are mitigating that as much as possible. Financial consequences. Again, we certainly do not want to be in any position where we have a situation and have to respond to it immediately. We want to make sure that we are anticipating those needs. We are anticipating, whatever it is that we would need instructionally and operationally, and that we already have the technology in place, so that we don't, as we are responding to those needs, we have the resources and the equipment prepared and ready, so that they can be fully implemented. Okay, and then having the additional benefit of being proactive. As we said, not having to respond to situations as they arise. We will see them coming, have the assurance that we are prepared for them when they do, when we are impacted, or should we be impacted. Another key area is sustainability. So we talked, so far I've already talked a lot about making sure that we anticipate any needs that we have as far as our technology, both device and infrastructure. But another, maybe equally as important piece to that is making sure that whatever plan we have in place, it is something that is sustainable. Okay, it is something that we, again, can anticipate the needs moving forward, and we make sure that we have everything in place that we need to. So oftentimes we have received questions. Somebody says, oh, well, I see the cost of this device or this service or this platform is X amount of dollars. Wouldn't it be more cost effective or efficient to do this? It's like, well, maybe initially, maybe on the surface it would be, but you have to keep in mind that we take measures to make sure that everything from our devices to our infrastructure, to our software is covered and secured from purchase to implementation. What we mean by that is, should there be any kind of vulnerability, should there be any kind of damage, replacement costs, we have all of that like built in and covered. So that's where, again, comes into that sustainability piece. We want to make sure that we have all areas and all aspects of that covered. Should anything, planned or unplanned, happen to any equipment that we have. Infrastructure equipment.
So when we're also talking about instructional technology, we also have to look at infrastructure. With the changing of technology and how fast it's improving, it's important to be able to sustain that growth. And with historical speaking, a lot of times the new stuff may not be available on your old stuff. But we don't always want to move to the new stuff. If we got it last year, we want to make sure that we make use of it before we move into the new future of what it's applying, what we can use for, technologies we can help to improve our system. So there's a lot of that also going into it, where we look at, let's just say for some of our networking equipment, we look at maybe a lifespan of 6 years. And that's kind of where you will get to the point where you get your money's worth out of it, but also it's starting to get into the newer technology with it's ever growing. I mean, you can look at it from the 90s until now, we've improved so much. So we always want to make sure that we're also improving with that technology and not sitting in the past, because the more we sit on older technology, the more it opens us up to be ransomware or to get our data stolen. Kind of like AGH that happened a couple of years ago. That was more of an email breach, but that could all be covered with update technology, with improving our infrastructure, improving the systems that we have to better detect that system. So there's always a look at that to be able to sustain that, but also have an upgrade path to where we know that in 6 years, this is what it costs then, but have that built into where we know this is where it costs now, kind of go up maybe a couple percentage every year, because that's how technology is. It's always increasing now with newer technologies that's coming out, with AI being built into everything. With now you have to look at cost of actual equipment costs with securing that equipment from overseas. That's going up. That's big in the news now, where you're starting to see your phones, your computers, everything go up because of how hard it is to get certain components. So we're looking at how to be able to sustain that, where it's not going to hurt our budget, but it's able to where we can plan for that. Security-wise, it's also, I think we can move, I think we moved 2 slides, Carrie. One more, I think, yeah, security-wise. So this is also talking about that with being able to plan out ahead, we can use that newer security. There's, for instance, I know we're going to be looking at probably getting a new firewall sometime in the near future. There's going to be new technologies built into that we don't have currently on our system, because it's going to be end of life pretty soon. We're starting to run into a little bit of that with some of our technology, where it was good 5 years ago, but now we're in a position, if we keep, let's just say, technology is as good as what the oldest thing you had. So you look at it with your house. So your Wi-Fi will only be as good as the oldest technology on it. And if everything's new technology, everything's working together at what it can be. So when we get our infrastructure for instructional and then technology where it's all up to date, we're able to use those capabilities, that we're able to do everything and be able to provide a learning environment that's actually beneficial and cohesive and works hand in hand with our instructional.
Yeah, and as Chris mentioned, one of the things that I think comes up often is think about software updates. We think of software updates as something that is relatively benign for a device. Especially in the consumer world, you have technology that has a software update. You tap a button, you click a button, and you install an update. But when you talk about an organization like Worcester County Public Schools, it's not as easy as that, and it's not as straightforward. even if you set aside the amount of devices we're talking about, if you're running a software update, it's not just one person, you're talking 9,000, 10,000 devices that you're hoping that everything goes well with that software update. But these devices and the technology, they are what staff and students rely on every day. If there's any kind of downtime or any kind of interruption, that's unacceptable. And that's something that needs to be planned for. And so when it comes to, certain platforms, they might say, well, your devices are a little bit behind. They should have been updated. It's like, well, we can't yet because we haven't verified that your update is compatible with not only our devices, but with our testing platforms. Okay, because we can't do that. We can't take away our staff and our students how they perform on their assessments and how they access their curriculum and do their instruction. So a lot of different pieces go into, as Chris was saying when he was referring to device stability and things like that. There are so many different moving pieces. Why it was so important to sit down under Dr. Wallace's direction and craft the long-range technology plan so that we could, as in the word, plan for all of those eventualities. So, like we said, the kind of high overview of the technology plan. Okay, we know that technology is a significant investment. We do not look at that investment or look at that responsibility lightly. We want to make sure that we are being, as it implies, being very strategic about where that investment is going and how it is being utilized. We want to make sure that we are reducing risk as much as we can, not only, with the physical aspect of our devices, but with the data information that is stored on them that they are utilized to access. Equity and access, again, we want to make sure that the technology is available to everybody that should have access to it and that requires access to it, and strengthening all of our infrastructure and cybersecurity areas as well. That is kind of all we have. Is, like I said, try to doing a brief overview, and we certainly, if there are any questions from the board, we'll do our best to answer those.
I'm sure we have questions for you.
Absolutely.
Board members? No? Okay, Dr. Andes.
No, I very much appreciate the report. It's eye-opening when you look at the number of iMacs, MacBooks, iPads, classroom instructional displays, flat panel televisions, Mac Minis, whatever they are, and so forth and so on. It's just incredible, the inventory that we have, and that you're responsible for making sure it works each and every day, because as a teacher or as a student in our school system, if it doesn't work, then there's a problem. So I thank you and appreciate that so much. So thank you for putting this all together. I very much also appreciated the replacement timeline that you put together, which the immediate 1 year, what has to be done now, and then short term, medium term, long term. It gives us some ability to start forward thinking and start planning ahead of time and working with our fiscal partners, our county government and state government, to have them understand what the actual need is, what the costs are going to be, because as you folks said, and I'm just echoing it, technology is our world, and we have to prepare our students to live in this world. So I thank you and commend you for putting this report together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Andes.
Okay. Nobody's happier to see this than I am. I talked to Dr. Wallace about this when she took in the role of superintendent, because we have had some concerns throughout the system where we've had connectivity concerns, and they're ongoing. And of course, I do see that as the short-term goal, and I know we need to get the computers correct first before we start getting the connectivity issues, but I know that teachers have had connectivity issues also during testing. So this is something that we need to really forward think, plan ahead for, because we take technology for granted, and we have anticipation that everything's going to work the way it should work, and then when you don't have the pieces to put together with it, it doesn't work, and then you get frustrated. So I appreciate you putting the plan together. This is something, as Dr. Andy said, we're going to need to share with our county commissioners going forward so that we can make plans to implement this plan as we get forward. And I want to take also for you gentlemen, I want to take every opportunity that we can to gather with whatever grants that are out there that we have an opportunity to get, so that we can take advantage of those grants and have them come in for our school system to offset some expenses, because obviously this is a large expense that will have to be spread over a number of years, but something that we need to do, something that needs to be given the appropriate attention and needs to be done immediately as far as I'm concerned. So thank you for the presentation. Thank you for the hard work that you put into it, and we'll look forward to seeing what we can do to help you implement this plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward, 8.3, Mr. Tolbert, you have a federal programs audit?
Yes, sir, Ms. Ferrante, thank you. Each year, our school system has an audit of our federal programs. For FY25, the audit was performed by UHY LLP. The list of federal grants is listed on pages 9 through 11 of the audit report. Some of the federal programs audited include the National School Lunch Program, Adult Education, Title I, Special Education, and the 21st Century Learning Centers, among others. As shown on page 11 of the report, our school system had FY25 federal expenditures totaling $13,736,708. Also included in the report are any findings and question cost. These are listed on page 14 and 15 of the report. As the board is aware, we had a former employee who utilized our board P card to purchase personal items. The former employee submitted falsified receipts to circumvent the existing internal controls in place. This resulted in a deficiency in internal control being noted in the audit report. This is outlined in the findings and question cost on pages 14 and 15 of the report. Also included in this section are recommendations from the auditors with our responses. In our response to the auditor's recommendations, we outline the additional controls that we put in place to prevent this from happening in the future. The additional controls we put in place include implementing a district-wide Amazon business account to strengthen procurement controls. The implementation established formal user access administration, added enhanced approval requirements for Amazon purchases, and prohibited the use of P cards and personal Amazon accounts for board-funded transactions. The board has also incorporated additional monitoring into its monthly reconciliation process by reviewing P card transactions against level 3 vendor data when available, and analyzing level 3 transaction reports to identify discrepancies, purchasing trends, or indications of non-compliance. A corrective action plan, including these additional controls, was also required to be filed with the federal audit. The auditors were satisfied with our responses to their findings and recommendations, and I'll take any questions that the board may have on the federal audit.
Board members have any questions for Mr. Tolbert regarding this compliance? Okay, thank you, Mr. Tolbert.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ms. Ferrante. Ready for the next item?
Yes, you're on there for the contract award, annual
Sure.
auditing services.
Yeah, I asked Ms. Hume to join me at the table. She took a very active role in this process, too.
While you guys are coming up and preparing to present, I just want to, just a reminder to the public and also to our board that I had made the decision earlier in the year when we started, when we saw some challenges on the horizon, some of the challenges that we've been facing that Mr. Tolbert just talked about in the audit, and shared with him that my decision was going to be that we were going to change our auditing services, who was doing them anymore. And so today is a reflection of that decision, and before you is going to be a new firm to get a fresh set of eyes on just our regular yearly auditing system. So we will have a fresh set of eyes on that as well. And without further ado, we normally approve like someone to do the audit. I just wanted to remind everyone that this is a product of challenges that we saw and a need that I felt like we needed to address.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Wallace. As Dr. Wallace explained, we did make the decision to go out to RFP for auditing service. An RFP was issued. 4 responses were received. The 4 proposals that we received were evaluated by a selection committee using the evaluation criteria established in RFP. Items included in the firm's qualifications and experience, technical approach, staffing references, and costs were part of the evaluation. Based on the committee's evaluation, SB and Company was determined to be the highest ranked responder and to provide the best overall value to the board. S&B Company also does other school systems throughout the state. I spoke with Frederick County Public Schools CFO, and she was very happy with their services. They've been doing the audit for several years. They actually rotate partners and audit teams every couple of years to make sure to get fresh eyes on the school system. So they were very happy with the company and their services. So any questions on that RFP or the recommendation for SB and Company as the auditor going forward?
Mr. Orr, you said you had 4 people bid for that?
4
different
firms.
Organizations?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Board members have any questions? Dr. Andes?
What's the cost compared to the budget?
The first year cost is within budget. The first year cost is $47,500, and there are options to renew for 4 more years at small increases over the years. I think our budget this year is about $48,700, so we're actually a little bit under the budget that's included for FY27.
It's going to be one of my questions, but thank you, Dr. Andes.
That's
We
funny,
stayed
I wrote
under budget.
price, question mark.
Yep.
My second question was, who was on the committee that selected them?
Yes, it was the budget manager, Kate Hume, the grants manager, Linda Johnson, Dr. Brian Cook was on the review and evaluation committee, and myself. So the 4 of us.
Where are they from?
S&B Company, I believe they're based in Owings Mills, is their office is where they're based.
Okay. The superintendent?
The superintendent recommends approval of the award of the contract for annual independent auditing services to SB and Company in accordance with the terms and pricing submitted in the proposal.
Okay. Board, can I have a motion and a second to approve the contract award for annual auditing service for S&B with the amount that they presented?
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Andes?
Second.
A second by Mrs. Cudlip. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Okay, we've already done the personnel exhibit. Now, sorry. That's okay. You're fine. We're good. We're good.
I had a moment. I apologize.
No, you're fine. It's all good. No, it's all good, Dr. Eckert. It's fine. I'm going to take it back to Mr. Tolbert for the policy revision for non-residents.
Yes, sir. We do have a policy revision that we're recommending under tuition for non-residents of Worcester County. Under the current policy, a non-resident student of Worcester County who is a child of an appointed Board of Education employee pays tuition equal to the base state aid per student. The proposed policy update would change this tuition amount to be 10% of the Maryland non-resident tuition rate. As we continue to analyze our budget, including revenue items, we feel this change is appropriate as the cost to provide educational services to our students continue to increase. Are there questions from the board about the policy change?
Board members have any questions for Mr. Tolbert regarding the policy revision?
Approximately, how much dollar amount are we talking about? 10%?
10%, just for comparison, if we left it the way it was, Dr. Andes, the increase would be $50 per year to the employee who has a student. Under the proposed method, it would be $62 more, or $112 increase.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay.
The superintendent recommends approval of the revised policy as presented, Mr. Fronte.
Thank you, Mr. Tolbert. Motion to approve the revised policy for tuition for non-residents of Worcester County as presented. I need a motion and a second. Motion by Mr. Smack.
Second.
Second by Ms. McComas. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Tolbert.
Thank you.
Okay. Our board attorney is running a few minutes behind, and she was going to be here for the presentation of our social media policy. So what I will do, is she? Okay. That was at 1:27. Yes, it is. So what I could do, I can open it up to the board, our board, for any Board of Education comments, and I can come back to that. Okay. Dr. Andes.
Everyone would be disappointed if I didn't have comments, I think. Thank you, Mr. Ferrante. Last week, a Crescendo Summer Experience was available for our students, and as our superintendent pointed out, this was the first time we ever operated this program. It was an opportunity for students from Pocomoke, Snow Hill, and the North End, Berlin Intermediate School, to come to Snow Hill Middle School and to learn about music theory, music production, and introduction to string instruments. It was a phenomenal experience for our students, and I want to especially thank Ms. Tamara Mills, who made it all possible. I also want to thank Mr. Daniel Bowen, who happens to be a graduate of Stephen Decatur High School, and he was the individual who coordinated, operated the entire program, chief instructor, so forth and so on. And I also want to thank the Worcester County Education Foundation for their financial support, and Chamber Music by the Sea Festival for the financial support, as Dr. Wallace pointed out. The annual Chamber Music by the Sea Festival will be held August 9th to 15th. It's sponsored by the Worcester County Educational Foundation, and this year, once again, this is our 12th season. We're bringing together 6 internationally renowned musicians to have 9 different events, 3 of which are free. More information can be found about the Chamber Music by the Sea Festival on either the Worcester County Education Foundation website or the Chamber Music by the Sea Festival website. All ticket sales, all revenue, goes back to support the visual and performing arts in our school system. I'll say it again. All ticket sales goes back to support the visual and performing arts in our school system. As an example, the Crescendo Summer Experience from last week was supported in part by the Chamber Music by the Sea. I know that not everyone is a fan of classical or chamber music, but we hear it all the time. If you ever go to a movie or watch a movie being streamed, you're probably going to hear classical music. So as an example, the theme to Jurassic Park. As an example, or how about Jaws? As an example. And I'm not a violin, I don't play the violin, but I'm always impressed how a person who plays the violin, viola, cello, takes 4 strings and has a stick with horsehair on it and produces beautiful music. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. So again, I'm hoping that you'll think about attending one of the events at the Chamber Music by the Sea Festival coming up from August 9th to 15th, including 3 free events in Berlin and in Snow Hill. Next thing is, as our superintendent pointed out, I just wanted to express my thanks to Ms. Tamara Mills for the summer school programs. I was able to stop by Berlin Intermediate School and Snow Hill Middle School to see the summer programs in action, and it's a wonderful experience for our students. And we heard our student representatives share information about what's going on at the high schools, and I'm going to make every effort to get to the high schools, the middle schools, and in the Pocomoke and Cedar Chapel to see, commend, and thank those individuals, the teachers, the educational assistants, the school nurses, the school resource deputies, and the custodians are all making this wonderful summer experience possible for our students. And I can't believe that in a month we're going to start fall sports. Summer has just flown by. So I want to thank all of our student athletes, our managers, our coaches, our building level leaders, our athletic directors, and everyone who make fall sports possible for our students and the experience. By having more students in fall sports and sports in general, by having them engaged in our school system, that assures the success of our students. So thank you to everyone who makes those experiences possible. And as a former high school football coach, I know the time that it takes as a coach and the commitment that your family makes to make these experiences possible. So thank you, coaches. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Andes. Any other board members wishing to make any comments? Mr. Buchanan.
Before the meeting today, I always try to get here a little bit early, so I had about 45 minutes to an hour to kind of kill before this meeting started, and I decided to take a little side trip over to the technical high school just to kind of walk around a little bit and see the stat camp, which is in full swing right now. It's very impressive. The engagement by the students and the staff and faculty that's over there is to be commended. Monday, there will be, I guess, like the official open house visitation of that. It's a grant from the county. This has been going on for a number of years. And I'd like to give kudos to the county for offering that grant to us, to the Board of Education. If you get a chance, and you check in at the office, to kind of walk around and see what the kids and what the staff is doing over there. It's a gem. The tech school is a gem of Worcester County.
Okay, thank you. Any other board members? I just want to say, first of all, now that the election season is over, I'm happy for those who did get elected, and I look forward, and I know this board looks forward to working with them collaboratively and making every effort to work together to make sure they understand the budget for the Worcester County Public Schools, how important it is to our communities, and the fact that we need to be able to work together to overcome any issues that we may have, and we want to make sure that we extend every invitation to have an opportunity to speak with the new public officials as possible, that we can have that relationship moving forward, and I hope that that will be a catalyst to help Worcester County Public Schools in the future. So, any other board members have any other thoughts? I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Wallace to talk about some pretty important dates coming up.
That's right. I have some pretty important dates, and then I have some invites I'll remind the board about. July 23rd is our last day of Summer Academy. August 10th, we welcome our new teachers back for new teacher orientation. Today is July 14th, so that's less than a month. And so we're very, very excited. Just to give the board a quick update, we are nearly hired up for all of our positions. We had two, I believe, resignations within the last couple of days. They have been posted. I think we have 4 total certificated staff members positions who haven't been filled. I think 2 of those were just happened. So that does have to be open for, I think, 5 days after today. And then we are in an extremely good position when it comes to hiring right now. So we're excited, and good thing, because it's August 10th is when we welcome them back. So we need to be hired up, and we're very blessed here. And then August 18th is our next board meeting. I do want to remind the board that you did get an invite to August 10th. We would love for you to join us to welcome them. We do a little celebration, so our board is invited to that. It's early though. It's at 7:45, so I know some of you are early birds and some of you are late risers, but we welcome them for like 35 minutes with pom-poms, and so bring your comfortable active clothes because we get excited. We do some cheers. We like to give them a warm welcome. And I think I know Dr. Andes was passing out the chamber music event, so see him if you have any interest in that. I will say it's a wonderful night to take your significant other out. So during a daytime event, if you're an early bird, you can also go to daytime events. And I think that Tamara maybe dropped off a stat camp invite for our board members, and that is invite only as well. But we'll get that passed out. So. I could like sing a song, or I don't know what we
No,
want
I
to do
think,
next.
I think
we could
what-
take a recess.
Yes,
I don't know.
I think what I'm going to do, well, first of all, Board, I know in the consent agenda that you probably remember that we just reappointed our board attorney for 1 year. I'm not sure if this is a bad sign or not. So she is not yet shown, but she's passing Berlin, so she says she's on her way. We're going to take a brief recess, Bear, and we will be back as soon as Ms. Stansberry gets in. Okay? Thank you.
All right.
Okay, we are back from our recess. Thank everyone for their patience, and our board attorney has joined us. I just want her to know that while she was not here, we did reappoint you for one more year. So, and so with that, we have 8.7, policy revision for social media policy, and I'm going to turn it over to our board attorney, Mrs. Stansberry.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate everyone's patience in waiting on me. So we do have the social media policy. It's in this packet. It's online. The only change that's been made to this policy since it was last presented to you is we firmed up the author. We have gone through whether we were talking about posting or endorsing or authoring, and we landed with just author. Other than that, you all were to take it home, consider it, and at today's meeting or in advance of today's meeting, let me know if you had any changes or further questions. So I really would turn it over to the board, and I will try to address any questions that you may have.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Stansberry. Board, I don't know if you've had an opportunity or you have any revisions ahead. I will say that I spent quite a bit of time over the weekend on this, and I did send some things to Ms. Stansberry, which I think I would like to add. They're not anything significant, but they are some things I think that help the policy. So I don't know, before we get there, any other board members have any suggestions, recommendations, or revisions? Okay, Ms. Stansberry, would you go over the ones that I had recommended to you?
So if everybody's following along with the policy, President Ferrante has asked us to consider, asked you to consider a couple of changes. And let me walk you through them in just a moment.
That's up.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get it up on my computer. I'm having a connection issue here.
We're working on that.
Okay. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can get it on a different device. Bear with me again. Todd, did you have the one that I sent to you with some red line changes, that with the red lines showing?
See if I can pull that up.
Yeah, for some reason on my devices, the red lines are not showing.
See here.
But I can try to walk everyone through those.
Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can get that for you.
While he's looking to see if he can do it, some of them I can just walk you through. So starting backwards, in section F, F2, I'll give everybody a moment to get there. F2, 4 lines down. So we're talking about, the sentence reads, accordingly, the superintendent or the superintendent's designee shall evaluate policy violations of this policy based on the totality of the circumstances and shall exercise consistent, and President Ferrante has requested that you consider adding the word objective before the word professional. So it would be shall exercise consistent, objective, professional judgment, and the remainder of that sentence. It may be easiest to take these one at a time.
Sure.
And discuss them. So based on President Ferrante's request, does anybody have any concern about adding objective?
I don't have a concern. I would assume that it was automatically being objectively reviewed, but I just would ask maybe like what made you want that word there more?
Depending on where it's coming from, an objective view versus a subjective view is better. And in most policies, such as this one, you want there to be as much objectivity as possible. I know there is some, typically, there may be some subjectivity, but in this case, being objective about it is looking at it with a open lens versus something that you have a thought on. So I think it's better to do it that way. That's why I wanted to make sure I added it.
I don't object.
Okay.
Anyone else have any changes or questions about that revision? All right. Next, just hopping around a little bit here, going up to the section on the professional use of social media. So I'm at Roman numeral 3, implementation guidelines, use of social media, professional social media use. And we're talking about subsection 1, authorization and oversight. Everybody with me?
There it is. Got it. Thank you.
Perhaps best add it as a subsection D. Subsection C is that, just clarify and make known that Worcester County Public Schools at all times is the owner of all professional social media accounts. President Ferrante, I've turned it over to you.
Yeah,
guys.
they just, because those accounts belong to Worcester County Public Schools. So we are the owners of those accounts. And I just want to make sure that was clear. It may be, obviously, but those accounts belong to us.
Does anybody have any questions or concerns or comments on that modification?
So it would read something like employees understand that.
It would read exactly as subsection C, WCPS at all times is the owner of all professional social media accounts.
Okay.
Or Dr. Andes, it could read that employees acknowledge that.
I was just trying to make a parallel with A and B.
Sure. I think from a sentence structure standpoint, you are correct, and that it would be that employees acknowledge that Worcester County Public Schools is at all times the owner of all professional social media accounts.
That's my 7th grade English teacher.
I appreciate that. Is there any other questions? Or
For some reason or other, I'm not getting any red lines here. It's just coming up as.
It's not, I know,
Yeah.
I
I don't know why, but
I don't know
it's just,
why either.
I mean, the only notation I had was on the one you just read, and then, of course, I knew the word in the other in application, but that was it.
Yes, I agree. They are not coming through. They were through on my desktop, and I think they came through perhaps to you on your desktop or whatever you looked at it.
Yeah, but not on my phone.
Not on my phone, yeah. On my iPad is either. So we'll muddle through this way.
That's fine.
Anybody have any questions or changes to that one as revised by Dr. Andes? Okay. Then the only other one would be, let me get to where it would be. Give me just a moment. I'm toggling between two documents. In subsection D, 4, so this is going to be under Roman numeral 3, and then subsection D, management of personal social media sites. Everybody with me? President Ferrante is recommending that we add a 4, and that 4 say that employees should understand that content posted to personal social media may become public regardless of privacy settings.
It's more educational than anything else, but I just wanted to make sure that they were aware.
Isn't that kind of the same as number 2, though? Like the fact that employee intended the employee's social media to remain private?
Yes, I think what happened in the rewrite, so the language that I'm proposing, or rather that President Ferrante is proposing in subsection 4, is very similar to language that actually was in your original policy. In the rewrite, it got consumed or assumed by subsection 2, as Jackie and Mr. Cutlip is saying, but I believe that President Ferrante wanted to, and I'll let him speak for himself, just highlight that one more time as a new subsection.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's exactly correct.
makes sense.
Anybody have any questions or concerns in addition to Ms. Cutlip's on that one? Okay, hearing none. All right, and then that is all the ones that we had worked through, President Ferrante.
Yes.
You had sent me several.
Yeah, those
and
were
I
the ones that we
appreciate those.
agreed on.
We talked through some of those,
Mhm.
but those are the ones that we landed on as ones that we might want to bring forward for the board's consideration. But certainly if anybody else has any others, we could go about this two ways. We could just adopt the amendments and approve the policy today, or perhaps more consistent with how this board has done things in the past, is we would make these revisions and publish one last time and approve at the August meeting. There's no correct or incorrect way to do it.
Can we just go over this one more time for us personally, and then?
I defer to the board. We can recirculate this afternoon, the one that does exist in my office with the red line, so you can see these changes as
That'd be
amended
good.
with Dr. Andy's comment, and then have it for one last time perhaps at the August meeting for
Is that
approval.
okay?
It's fine.
I'd appreciate that.
Can I just ask a question though?
Sure.
So that if we're
Just
gonna
speak
do
into
that, and the next meeting is, for us, is August 18th, but the new teachers come back on the 10th, and that means that this would not be in effect and ready at the meetings when you're welcoming them back to talk about, correct?
No, yeah. No,
So it won't affect any of that.
yeah. This is going to be out to the entire staff, and everyone new as well. So,
In
but yeah.
time, though.
Well, and I could add, certainly, I don't pretend to understand all the operations of the school system as the year begins for the students, but one of the things that will begin to be worked on is the accompanying procedure. And because it does sound like generally there's a consensus to adopt this policy as amended, I suspect that staff can begin to work on the procedure between now and August. And so that when it is approved, if it's approved on August 18th, they'll be pretty much ready to go with whatever rollout goes on for any policy change. Is that right, Superintendent?
All right. Is the board fine with approving at the August meeting?
I mean,
Okay.
personally, I don't see, why not just do it today? If it's just
Mm-hmm.
those three things and we all agree, I don't understand why we would keep pushing it off, because I remember when we started, we talked about a rollout of maybe July 1st, and now we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about August 18th. So if it's just those three changes, then we're all saying yes. I don't understand why we wouldn't.
I can take just a hands vote, but I mean, you can make a motion, but I mean, if nobody wants to second it, then we'll have to wait till the August meeting. Dr. Andes?
My concern is that when our teaching staff comes back, that they have this in hand, and the superintendent can go through the training. That's my concern, to make sure that our staff understands that we have a new policy in place, we have procedures in place, protocols in place, and we're ready to go. So that's my question of timing. It's the timing question for me.
Are you asking me the questions?
Yes.
Yes, if you all approve this, if you do your normal procedure, which is approve a clean copy, that does not slow down my staff in being able to, because we know the spirit of what's happening, to be able to create procedures. And our plan for rolling it out really doesn't matter to us what it says in that document, because we'll have our plan ready to roll out. That's our plan to roll it out. What goes into the PowerPoint of what we send out for everybody to go over will all be reviewed at that all teacher back to school, which will be the week prior to school. So it won't be a problem for us if we needed to make an adjustment in a PowerPoint if you guys came back, because we plan to roll it out the week that all teachers come back to school, when we have the all-staff meetings with each of our schools.
That will be after our meeting, correct?
Yes, that will be after your meeting.
I'm just going to make a motion that we vote now and see how it goes, because I think the sooner the better. I mean, this has been going on for months and months, and if we're not going to change anything, I
yeah.
don't see why.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Cutlip. Do I have a
So
second?
let's just make sure the motion's clear. I think the motion is probably
To approve with
the
amendments.
policy as amended today verbally, presented by the board attorney.
Correct.
Do I have a second? Okay, seeing none, we will move this to the August meeting, and we will approve it at the August meeting. And as our superintendent just said, she will still have the opportunity to present it to all of the staff prior to the start of the school year. Okay?
Heather, is it okay if, when we go through this one last time, any perceived changes we would like to make, we just send to you?
Well, yes, of course, that's okay, but as a practical matter, I suppose I should warn, if it's beyond a typographical error that, got past my office, a comma or a semicolon, we'd be back in the same spot.
Right.
So either if somebody has what I'm going to call a substantive change, send it to me, and I'll have to notify the superintendent, and it'll be within her and the president's discretion to call a special meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's pass it now. I mean,
I would remind the board as well that we will have the opportunity to make changes as we see necessary in the future if we see changes need to be made to this policy. So we can do that at any time. We can do that with any policy. But again, if this were going to slow down the process of getting this information out for the upcoming school year, and I think our superintendent just answered that question, then I would be in favor of passing it today. If it's not, then we can pass it at the August meeting, and she'll still have the opportunity to disseminate the information to the staff before the school year starts. So
What I heard Heather say is it may or may not affect, depending on the changes asked. Not Dr. Wallace's side, but depending on what changes are asked next. I mean, I thought that's the point of getting this a couple days ago, was to do the due diligence for today, not to ask like for another 30 days. I just don't get it. I'm sorry.
yeah, at this point, I understand your feelings, Ms. Cullip, but at this point, I don't see a difference between passing it at the August meeting or passing it at this meeting, because the only opportunity is for everyone to look at it and be satisfied with the document itself. And so if the board members want to take an opportunity to look at the document, to make sure that they're fine with it before they pass it at the August meeting, it still gives our superintendent the opportunity to get that information out to all of our staff and make sure that they understand it, then I don't see an issue.
So at the August meeting, we will vote.
Correct. Yep. And at that meeting, when we vote on it, even if we have changes at that time, we could still vote on that presented policy, and then we could make changes on it at the following meeting. Correct?
Sure, you can always amend a policy, as long as there's notice to the public.
If that's the case.
Any?
I mean, I'm just trying to look at it. I've read a couple of things.
I will say this: that the changes that I forwarded to Ms. Stansberry were not big changes. They're just some one word, clarifications, some, a little bit of changing, adding a word here or there. So.
I've been on the committee. It's not going to be big changes.
No.
You know me. I'm just.
Is the board's will?
I do.
Okay. She wants to see the finalized version. I understand that. So we will at the August meeting, we'll have a finalized version in front of us, and then we can make the approvals at that time. Okay? You're welcome. And now, board, it's the shortest meeting of Ms. Stansberry's career. And now, board, I'd call for a motion to adjourn today's open session meeting and a second.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Dr. Andes and a second by Mrs. Cutlip. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you so much. Have a great July. We are adjourned.